Thanks for joining me on Life and Surround. Today, it's my pleasure to discuss with you one of my favorite albums. I love it when a favorite album has a multi-channel mix. This is Life and Surround, so this channel is focused on multi-channel mixes, so things that are beyond stereo. We're going to be discussing Yoshimi Battles the Pink Robots. It has a very recent Blu-ray audio release. And those who are quite familiar with the channel will know that this is not the first time that I've covered Yoshimi Battles the Pink Robots, not the first time I've covered the Flaming Lips. And that's primarily because Yoshimi was previously released, I think back in like the early 2000s on DVD audio. So here is the DVD audio CD set. This thing is legendary, okay? There are few multi-channel albums that have garnered the kind of consistent high praise that Yoshimi has. In fact, it's like almost like, a descriptor in and of itself. If somebody wants to describe whether a multi-channel mix is very active, very aggressive, with, lots of active panning, it will often get compared to Yoshimi. So, it's not rare that you'll be reading the description of an album and somebody will say, well, it's no Yoshimi, or, this thing rivals even Yoshimi. Okay, so back, I believe in the early 2000s, like I said, Elliot Shiner, in coordination with record producer David Fridman, they co-mixed Yoshimi Battles the Pink Robots into 5.1. And those who are quite familiar with this channel know that Elliot Shiner is one of my favorite all-time mixing engineers. He, I don't believe, has dabbled in Atmos, and maybe he is in retirement, but at least for 5.1, he is just one of the absolute masters. Okay, so over the years, Yoshimi Battles the Pink Robots on DVD audio 5.1 has just deservedly earned itself, an unrivaled reputation. So then the question of this video really is, do you need this? The 20th anniversary Atmos edition, or Atmos for those of you across the pond. All right, so I just want to get like right down to it. All right, this Blu-ray does contain the early 2000s 5.1 mix. And here is the Blu-ray so you can see it for yourself. And I'll expose the case for you. So if the new Blu-ray audio contains the previous 5.1 mix and a new Atmos mix, wouldn't it be very clear that all you need is this? I'm not so sure that's true, and I'll give you a few reasons for that. Now, I'm gonna just go ahead and say, bottom line up front, that I am a fan of this Blu-ray audio, and if you like Yoshimi Battles the Pink Robots, and you have a Blu-ray player, you should go ahead and pick this up. You can get high resolution, lossless stereo if you just happen to be a stereo audiophile. You can get the early 2000s 5.1 mix, and it is mastered more tenderly here than on the DVD audio. The DVD audio is fairly dynamically compressed, and this is less so. The drawbacks of this Blu-ray are that the DVD audio contains more video bonus content, a making of the DVD audio itself, a couple or several making of videos for promo videos, and you get a tidbit. Phoebe battles the Pink Robots, which is like this kind of weird Friends, Flaming Lips collaboration. And then there are also some copious audio extras on this as well. And although in the case of this DVD audio, they're all in stereo. Some of the other Flaming Lips DVD audio releases had some bonuses in 5.1. Okay, so you do get audio extras here, and you do get video extras here. Okay, and you also get a CD. So, in case you play CDs in your car like I do. Okay, so I don't think we should entirely rule this release out. And particularly if you are a Flaming Lips or a Yoshimi completist, you're gonna want to still go ahead and find this or at least hold on to it. Okay, so then let's move on to the Blu-ray audio. And, like I said, I don't think it's just, a no-brainer that this is all you need. And I'm gonna tell you why, particularly. On the Blu-ray audio, the only visual option you have for stereo 5.1 and Atmos is to look at these crazy bleep blops redigitized by Blake Studdard. The bleep blops are really, really irritating to a lot of reviewers, and they wish they could shut their screens off. And my advice, if you just can't get away from the bleep blops, is just close your eyes. And maybe that was the intention of the band, was to force you to want to close your eyes and just listen to the music. I'm going to have to recommend that you have both. The Atmos mix, I should mention the Atmos mix. So the Atmos mix is very cool. It is similar in a lot of ways to the preceding 5.1 mix. It's mixed only by David Fridman this time, no Elliot Shiner, and no one else helping as far as the liner notes are concerned. It is a slightly different animal, so it's not like it's just the 5.1 mix with some stuff, up at the ceiling. It is a different animal. In some ways, it is a little bit tamer than the 5.1. And so for those over the years who have thought that the Yoshimi mix just really, to some extent, just really pushed the line a little too much, you're going to find a bit more of a relaxed listening experience here. Although you definitely still have active panning at key points of the album, and you definitely still have ping pong panning of various things, percussion, guitars, vocals, synthesizers, all kinds of crazy stuff. So, I mean, the two mixes are, siblings. I would say that the Blu-ray Atmos mix is a bit more mature, like the more mature, a bit more even-keeled, understated sibling. And the 5.1 mix is the, go for broke, happy-go-lucky, devil may care, younger, less mature sibling. Okay. And the Atmos mix is extremely crankable. It's at least a few dB lighter than the 5.1 mix, as mastered on the Blu-ray. So I recommend definitely cranking it. The way that I like to enjoy rock or, pop or alternative rock music is to make sure that I get the bass content, particularly like the bass drum, the floor toms, really bumping, a blend of boom and thump. So I want my bass content bumping, and then I evaluate how the rest of the mix is doing. So with the bass content bumping in your room, knocking that phlegm out of your chest, if you have a cold, you are going to enjoy an incredibly active mix that is super well done. It, again, as with the early 2000s mix, it suits the music, and it's just a crazy, wonderful, enjoyable experience. I'll show off a little bit of the booklet for those who may never get this, or, if it might entice you. So the stereo album has its own cover. The 5.1 DVD audio, had its own cover. And that's more like the stereo cover. And then the Atmos version has its own artwork. You see Wayne over here in his hamster ball that he likes to get into for live performances, and Yoshimi, and a pink robot. One of my favorite albums. It's theorized that the pink robots represent cancer cells, and that, Yoshimi is, the human female fighting breast cancer. And this album is heavy, but it's also celebratory. I think the theory that the pink robots are cancer is, a powerful theory that explains a lot. So a lot of the songs on this album have to do with not squandering this life, not taking anything for granted. All we have is now. And, do you realize that everyone you know someday will die? And, use your time wisely. Let everyone know that you love them. If you do, let everyone that you love know that you love them. I think that is really great advice. Flaming Lips, a combination of fun music with often heavy, poignant themes. So, favorite band of mine and favorite album of mine. And so we have a classic early 2000s 5.1 mix that you can track down on CD, DVD audio, or we have a new shiny Blu-ray Atmos mix that I think it's a worthy addition to the Yoshimi pantheon. So track it down, let everyone know what you think. If you like what I do, don't forget to give a thumbs up, ring the notification bell, subscribe, leave comments, share these videos. It all helps this channel. And the purpose of this channel is to spread the joy of multi-channel music and to support the multi-channel music industry so that we keep getting excellent, interesting content. All right, so thanks for your support. Thanks for watching. And until next time, live life to the fullest while you have it in surround. Has very high scores over at Quadraphonic Quad.